Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
21 years. That's how long I've been doing this. Producing the content, showing up each week to do the recordings, week after week, with only a handful of exceptions, most of them involving hospitals and cardiac surgeons. But that's entirely another story. After 21 years, I've learned what lands and what doesn't. I've learned not to get too attached to any episode because you never know what is going to connect. But this one surprised me. Thinking 101, this series, the response has been different. It was more comments, more questions, more people saying, hey, that's exactly what I needed. It's made me reflect on why I started this series. Years ago, I was in a room with people from the Department of Education. I asked them a simple question. Why are we graduating people who can't think? Absolutely cannot think. And I'm not talking about they don't know things, but they can't think. They can't reason through a problem. They can't evaluate an argument. And their answer was, let's just say, it wasn't very satisfying. And that moment stuck with me. Now, when AI exploded onto the scene, when everyone suddenly had a machine that could generate answers instantly, it became very clear to me. Thinking for yourself isn't just valuable anymore. It is survival. And that's what part one was about, the foundations, building your thinking toolkit. So what's next? Well, for the next few weeks, nothing. We are taking a breather for the holidays, myself and the entire team behind the channel and behind the podcast. I'm going to be spending time with my wife, my kids, and my grandkids. Now, we'll all be back in early January. And if you're heading to CES in Las Vegas for that first week of January, reach out, let me know. I'd love to meet up. But before I go, I have a question for you. Should there be a part two? I have some ideas. If part one was about building your toolkit, part two could be about what happens when you have to use it. Because knowing how to think and making good decisions are not the same thing. Real decisions happen when you're tired, when you're stressed, when your own brain is working against you. Now, part two could be about that gap between knowing and doing. But I want to hear from you first. Should I do it? And what topics would you want covered in part two? What questions are you wrestling with? Post a comment. And if you're a paid subscriber to us over on our Substack channel, send me a DM. I read and reply to 100% of those. Let me know what your thought is about part two. And speaking of paid subscribers, that is the best way to support the team that works behind the scenes, that does the research, helps with the video, helps with the audio production, posts, maintains the blogs, all of the history and all of the historical content going back 21 years. It is the best way to support that team that makes it happen. Any of that subscription money does not come to me. I take none of it. I'm doing this out of a passion project, but I do have a team that does need to put food on the table. So if you want to support this channel, become a paid subscriber. Now, 21 years of showing up, it doesn't happen alone. That's why I have this team. You can also visit our store over at innovation.tools. Innovation.tools, Tools. Over there, you can get our merchandise, we're in the really early days of our merchandise. If you got ideas for merchandise for us, let us know. But also, you can get my book, the card deck, the posters, other things over there. So check that out, innovation.tools. Part one is done. That's all wrapped up. The holidays are calling. Thank you for making this series land the way it did. We will see you in January. I'm Phil McKinney. Take care of yourself and each other. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.